Hi, this is Luke with Global Call Forwarding. Is your business still using legacy analog phone lines in the PSTN? You'll be interested to know that the PSTN is scheduled to be switched off in the UK at the end of 2025, and that traditional landline connections are being replaced by VoIP all over Europe. And this makes sense, because cloud-based communications offer better reliability, more scalability, and are less costly to maintain. Luckily, there are telecom companies that can help your business migrate its voice services to the cloud for when these public networks become obsolete. Most modern businesses already use a PSTN replacement service. In other words, they future-proof their business by switching to IP and cloud-based communication solutions for calling. But before we dive into PSTN replacement solutions and their benefits, let's understand the PSTN and its purpose. PSTN stands for Public Switch Telephone Network. It refers to the traditional phone system used for voice communications, and it consists of multiple interconnected carriers that connect people through standard phone numbers. It's also known as analog, landline, POTS, and fixed lines. The PSTN has been in use since the late 1800s and is generally considered outdated for business communications. As a result, the PSTN is being replaced. So then, what's a PSTN replacement service? Well, it's an IP-based service that eliminates the need for traditional old-school phone lines, but it still enables reliable local calling throughout different countries around the world. Typically, a PSTN replacement service will include incoming and outgoing calls from any location, local, toll-free, and national number availability, localized caller ID for outgoing calls, and a suite of cloud-based calling features. Modern global businesses prefer PSTN replacement solutions as they allow them to replace their analog phone systems, which can be costly to maintain and less scalable, while also allowing them to centralize their communication systems. With PSTN infrastructure being outdated, you'll want to embrace digital transformation and upgrade your legacy communication systems. Modern companies have already started migrating to cloud telephony alternatives like VoIP and SIP for several reasons. For instance, SIP tends to be more reliable with higher audio quality and better failover options. Companies using IP-based communication services will benefit from a tried and tested global infrastructure with multiple layers of redundancy. You can also comfortably connect your local, remote, and global teams under one telecom network, so you can expect enhanced mobility, higher quality voice calls, and guaranteed uptime. Now, legacy PSTN services would typically require local agreements with carriers for connections, which can be time-consuming as it involves juggling multiple local contracts and dealing with legal issues related to telecom regulatory compliance. But since VoIP and SIP function through a single provider, you can enjoy global connectivity without geographical limits. With one provider, you don't have to worry about dealing with these details. Since your provider already has established connections and agreements with local carriers, you're going to save time, effort, and money, which all makes it easier for you to adapt and expand your business communications. And finally, when it comes to adding more analog PSTN lines or scaling your services, this can involve significant upfront investment in hardware and infrastructure. Cloud telephony, on the other hand, allows you to easily add lines and adjust communication resources without extensive hardware upgrades. This means greater potential for global expansion and scalability at lower costs. Now, with that being said, how do you make the switch? Replacing the PSTN in your business is easier than it seems. Here's how you can do it. First, research PSTN replacement providers and their offerings. You'll want a provider who can cover all your target countries and markets. Look for their call quality, reliability, scalability, and calling features. Next up, take stock of your current telecom equipment, including phones, switches, etc. Then compare this with what you need from your cloud-based system. Here's a good time to also assess if you have enough network bandwidth to support your upcoming VoIP traffic. And finally, examine the cost of transitioning from PSTN to VoIP. Look for necessary setup charges, cost savings, potential benefits, new features, and flexibility in communication. After calculating these cost savings and benefits, you can take a call, select your desired provider, and begin making the necessary changes. So why should you consider global call forwarding? Well, our voice network and PSTN replacement solution is optimal. With carrier redundancy, long-standing partnerships with local Tier 1 carriers, and more than 25 years of business, We offer outstanding call quality, competitive rates, and unmatched flexibility. We're committed to growing our offerings to meet the demands of modern business communication. Learn more about our PSTN replacement service today. You can visit globalcallforwarding.com and chat with our experts. We're here to help.